What is going on, guys? It's Scorpion HD here, back again with another Witcher 3 Wild Hunt video. This is of course my end review because I recently completed the story within the game. Keep in mind, as you can see on the screen, this video is going to include a lot of spoilers and it's entirely comprised of gameplay from within the last hour of the game because that's all I got recorded. But I don't necessarily feel like that's a bad thing, but yeah, honestly I wouldn't watch this video if you weren't happy at, exposing yourself to spoilers or else you've already completed the game. And obviously, if you do choose to watch the video and you haven't completed the game or if you already have, what you see might differ from what you see whenever you play the game, depending on the choices you made really. So yeah, please keep that in mind while watching the video. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, obviously I've done a video on this in the past. I did a kind of overview and review on it, but now that I've completed the story, I wanted to do a complete review on the entire story as a whole, the storyline, and what I feel like the future of this franchise will be now that, this is the last game in Geralt's trilogy. So yeah, as a whole, I felt the story was excellent, as a lot of people, would agree. Never before really have I played a game and got so attached to the characters and stuff over time. That's one of the things I'd have to say about this game. The cast of characters, there's some of the most interesting characters in there, I feel, that in any game I've ever played. And you do get very attached to them over time. And yeah, overall, I feel like this game is kind of like Mass Effect for me, I really got into it, I really got into this. And it made me want to go back and play the previous games, which I feel like will be the case here. Obviously, if you watched my previous video, you'll know that this is my first game in the Witcher series, and the experience that I got out of it was one of a very positive nature, and I'd consider playing through the previous games in order to get the most out of it. I'd consider playing through this again on a harder difficulty because I was playing it on medium, and I didn't have to craft as many potions and stuff like that and as many oils just because I was only playing on medium. I feel like this is the kind of game that's best experienced on the hardest difficulty, and I know a lot of people will agree with me in saying that. But yeah, overall I feel if you do want to get the most out of it, if you haven't already, play the previous games. I'm probably going to do that and play through this again once I've done that. But don't get me wrong, it is pretty easy to understand the story once you read up on it and figure out what's going on. It is pretty engaging and easy to understand even if you are a new player. So with regard to the actual endings in the game, there are 3 major endings. I received one of the better ones in my opinion. Well, it is one of the better ones, not even in my opinion. But yeah, the way you achieve the different endings is pretty self-explanatory actually. I got this ending just by playing. I didn't read up on any articles or anything, but after completing it, I did look up an article about how to achieve such and such an ending, and basically the way it works, and there are proper spoilers here, so if you don't want to hear this, I'd advise you to properly close the video now. But the way it works is if you fill Ciri full of self-doubt and make choices for her, she will doubt herself, and that will result in you getting one of the worse off endings. However, if you treat her like she's an adult and let her make choices for herself and support her in a positive manner, then of course you're going to get one of the better off endings. And there are 2 positive endings, and the way you get these depend on the choice you make whenever you tell her that her father wishes to see her, if you allow her to go and see him, or if you tell her that she shouldn't go, and that's how you achieve the better 2 endings. However, I'm not going to talk too much about what the actual endings entail themselves because I feel like that's just taking a piss in terms of spoilers. But yeah, as you can see here, we are fighting Caranthir, the second in command of the Wild Hunt. This, in my opinion, is probably one of the best duels in the game. I actually enjoyed this more than Eredin at the end. I didn't include gameplay of Eredin here because I felt like, again, taking the piss a bit in terms of the spoilers. I wanted to, keep this a good review and talk about the game as a whole, but I didn't want to basically just show you everything. you know, right at the very end. So my total playtime for my playthrough of the game was around 70 hours. And you know, I have not done everything this game has to offer, nowhere near it. For the first half of the game, it's fair to say that I was, you know, completing equal amounts of story and side missions to level up. However, towards the end of the game, especially after the Isle of Mists mission, whenever you know that at that point, you know, everything, it's like a critical point in the story. Everything from there on is revolving around the main story and the main quest. From there on, I was pretty much glued to the story missions, and you know, didn't stop completing them really. I don't think I completed a single side quest actually after that point. But yeah, as far as the future of the franchise goes, I think they're probably going to continue the story within the Witcher universe, at least with a game revolving around Ciri. I don't really know though, they might do a prequel, because playing as Ciri would be extremely overpowered. She is basically too powerful. And yeah, the music in the game is top notch. It really is amazing. This is probably one of the best soundtracks up there with Destiny's. And if this game doesn't win Game of the Year, I wouldn't be surprised to see it win Best Music or Best Score. It's very easy to like the world this game takes place in. You know, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones or Skyrim, so I'd definitely recommend picking this up, especially now. It's at a cut price now, I think. And for the amount of content in it, you know, it's really not bad to pay £40 for this. There's so much in it. 70 hours like for a story game. There are games now like the Order 1886 that are 5 hours long and they want you to pay full price for them. So this is definitely one of the better buys of the year in terms of content, I believe. And you know, there's obviously a lot of replayability with it. The 3 endings. You have Yen and Triss, the romance. And you can't do them in, well, you can do them in one playthrough, however it's not advised. And there's just so many more choices like that a second playthrough would really be warranted here. But yeah, definitely a big fan of the story and the lore in this game. And yeah, I really would recommend it to everyone, almost everyone who is big into video games. This is not something to be missed, up there with Fallout 4 and Metal Gear this year, in my opinion. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the review, and yeah, cheers.